How can one restrain their anger towards others? This is, there's a number of factors. Why are you angry? Are you a spoiled person? Did you get spoiled? Did you get everything you want when you were a child? If that's the case, then you have to unspoil yourself and realize, well, you know what? This behavior that you're doing and yelling at people, just getting angry, is behavior that Allah hates, and you're going to have to answer for it. I mean, that's basically the answer to all of this. But it's behavior that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates. And what are you going to say? How are you going to turn to Allah on the Day of Judgment when you got angry and you've harmed people left, right and center, and you've harmed, in heinous ways? Because when people get angry and they do things, it's not a small thing. It's not a small incident. They get angry and sometimes they damage things. They burn bridges. And what you're going to say to Allah? So that's the question to ask. And if it's stress, then these are hard situations. Someone who's in like a difficult marriage or a bad work scenario, and they're very stressed, then what are they going to say? What are they going to do? They have to get away from the source of stress as best they can, and try to manage it. And so if that's the reason why you're getting angry, then try and manage that. If it's health issues, if it's just people being around you, they're just being, they're just provoking you to getting angry, address the situation. The Sunnah calls us to taking practical steps and addressing situations. So do that. Sometimes it's just a case of a person just hasn't refined themselves. They haven't trained themselves to know anger doesn't bring anything good. Anger leads to sin. Anger is something like that. Anger is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like on a person. He likes clemency, hilm, the quality of having a nice, calm, composed, comportment. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from people. And most people, how do you stop being angry? Just be aware. If I do this, what is Allah going to say? What if I go and say this, if I drop that nuke on this person, that one thing I know to say to him, and that's it, it'll shut them up forever? Yeah, but what if it's that one thing that Allah hates, and it leads you to some long-term, problems? If not in this life, then in the next. Another thing people can do to restrain their anger is just be honest with themselves. Like if you stood there and there's some, lady or some, some man who you want to marry, depending on your gender, and, would you go and express all that ugliness that comes out when a person's angry and yelling and shouting and screaming at others? Would you want to do that in front of them? If you're there in a job interview and you really need the job, and then someone texts you or someone calls you and they say something, or something happens, one of the staff members is supposed to bring you some tea inside, and then they're bringing it and then they spill it and it goes onto your white shirt. And then are you going to say, you incompetent so-and-so, who gave you a job here? You should be outside. Are you going to say that? Or are you just going to say, it's all right, don't worry, it's on your shirt, I can wash it out? And that's the truth. So everyone knows, sometimes people get angry and they just become rude and abusive around people who they think, well, I don't need to be different with this person. They have to be around me, like family members, siblings, parents, children. They have to be around me. They can't get away. So what does it matter? It matters, because if you get angry with them, you're going to cause them pain. And it can get to a point of dhulm. And then what are you going to say to Allah? What are you going to do on the Day of Judgment? And that's the solution. And Allah knows best. Sometimes, some binaural beats, some meditation like that can help as well. If it's just your nervous system triggered, or if you've got trauma from the past, that can help. So, just consider these options.
La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.